Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have a good looking puzzle here. This one's called Button Up, by ebiggie. And this is actually the first puzzle that ebiggie has published. He's got a couple of other ones up on the websites, but this was the first one, and it's the highest rated of those. So it looked like a good one to get into. ebiggie, awesome that you're starting setting. Love to see it. Hope you do a bunch more of excellent puzzles. So with that said, let's jump into this thing and see if we can get it figured out, because it looks like it's going to be a fun one to go with. So we've got normal Sudoku supply. So every row, every column, and every 3x3 box contains the digits 1 through 9 once each. Then we've got red lines are 10 lines. So 10 lines are things we don't use very often, or I don't see very often is the better way to put it. So each line consists, let me step back. For anyone who has any color blindness, these are the red lines. The rest of them are going to be the blue lines. So on these red lines, each line consists of one or more contiguous groups of cells, each of which sums to 10. These groups of cells cannot overlap. Every cell is part of exactly one group, and digits may repeat if other rules allow. So let's look at this guy as an example. So we have to create or determine, might be the better way to say it, how this line is segmented to allow for multiple or maybe even singular set of digits that will add up to 10. So if we think about this, how can you make 10 on any of these things? Because it's either, you can't make a single digit 10. So you're going to either have a 2 and a 2 because you can't overlap. You can't do 2 here and 3 here. So it must be separated. So it'd be either 2 and 2, or you can do all 4 digits because 1, 2, 3, 4 would add up to 10. So that is how those 10 lines work. Again, you have to have either multiple sets that do not overlap, or in terms of 4 cell, you could have all 4 of those be used for the 10 line. Now, after that, we've got blue lines are entropic lines. So any set of 3 sequential cells along an entropic line must contain a low digit, 1, 2, 3, a middle digit, 4, 5, 6, and a high digit, 7, 8, 9. So all of these other lines are the blue entropic lines. So if we were to look at this guy, if this was low, middle, high, it would have to continue that pattern. So low, middle, high, low, middle, high, low, middle, high, etc., etc. And it could be any combination. It doesn't have to be low, middle, high. It could be middle, low, high, and just continue that. So if you were to look at any 3 grouping of digits along that line, those 3 would always have one of each of those 3 sets. And then the final rule set here is black Kropki dots. So black dots are in a 1 to 2 ratio, and not all dots are given. So any of these black dots, we see a bunch of them, they must be in a 1 to 2 ratio, i.e. one of them is double the other one, or one of them is half the other. And those are the rules. So let's jump into this one. Hopefully it's an excellent puzzle. The link will be in the description below for y'all to play along if you would like to. And let's get started on this thing. So where do we start? As we always opine. Well, I guess down here we got quite a few sets of black Kropkis. Okay, so that does actually give us something. If we think about what can and cannot go on a black Kropki dot, you can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8, and you cannot put 5, 7, or 9 because you can't double 5, 7, or 9 or have them. So since all of these are in the same region, these must be the 5, 7, 9. And if we think further about how these can be divided, they're going to have to be the extremes, I guess is an okay way of saying it. So we have 2 different groups of sets that can work on a black Kropki. It's 1, 2, 4, 8, and 3, 6. Well, we know we're going to have a 3, 6 set. We're going to know we have a 1, 2 set. We're going to have a 4, 8 set. We don't know which order those all go in, but they do appear somewhere along these. Obviously, we can't have a 2, 4 set because then you would have a 1, 8, and that doesn't work. So we do know that there's some combination of 1, 2, 4, 8, and 3, 6 going on with these. Now, I'm wondering if we can do anything with that at the moment, or if we need to think elsewhere. Because again, we've got the entropic lines, and we've got some pretty long entropic lines. So we can start to think about how they all work together. Because we've got every third digit is going to be of the same entropic value. Let's put this in green, because we know that all of these will be of the same. So we actually know that all of one of the highs, or low, mediums, or highs are taken in this column now. Same with this column. What else do we know with that? Okay, so that makes sense. So what does it actually mean? Well, because we have all three of the same grouping of entropic digits, we have to pick a grouping that can work on black Kropkis, and all three of those digits have to work on black Kropkis. Well, 4, 5, and 6 don't work. 4 and 6 do, but the 5 doesn't. 7, 8, and 9, the 7 and the 9 don't work. So these all have to be actually low. So we can put those in. 1, 2, 3. Now, beyond that, what the heck do we know? Well, I guess, or do we? Well, we can kind of think about these, I guess. I don't know if they're super useful. I mean, down here, I guess it is. It's more so than here, because we're limited by what these can be. So we know this is either a 1, 2, or a 3, 6. And what did I just... This one would be 6, not the other one. Because again, we know in this region we have a 1, 2 set, we have a 4, 8 set, and we have a 3, 6 set. And because this is a low digit, it can't be from the 4, 8, so it's one of the two. So there has to be either a 1, 2, 4, 8, or 3, 6, and that's, well, no, we can take that further. Sorry, let's think about it in a different direction. We have all the low digits. These can't be low digits, so they can't be from 1, 2, or 3. And they can't be from 5, 7, and 9, so they are 4, 6, and 8. And like we said, we've got a 4, 8 pair and a 3, 6 pair. So that does actually tell us what we've got here. So this is the 4, 8, 3, 6 grouping, and this has to be a 1, 2 pair, because otherwise none of this works. And I guess we can continue to color our low digits, because we know what they are. Now, that tells us that one of these two is a 3, 6. I don't know if that really is much use. Right off the bat, at least. Let's continue to color and see if we get anything out of that. These are the other two versions, whatever they may be. So they're either high or low, or sorry, middle or low. What does that give us? Or do we need to correlate these to a different line? Because we know these two are going to be the same entropic grouping, but they can't be low because we already used all the lows in this column. But I don't think that necessarily correlates to whether or not they're mid or high. So what does that tell us? Well, I don't think putting in digits here is really going to give us much help. I mean, well, if we think about the 10 line, let's think about 10 lines for a second, because they may be useful. We know that both of these 2-cell long ones must add up to 10. And they must both be part of one grouping that adds up to 10, because we can't have a single digit add to 10. So this is, essentially, it's an X clue, if you think about XVs, excuse me. So this would be an XV clue, which means this is either 9, 8, 6, or 4. I don't know that does us any good whatsoever. We'd know that this is the similar condition. Maybe we can look at this line. Okay, so we know this is, I don't know if this is going to give us much at the moment either, but we know that these digits are either mid or high, because this one can't be low. It's going to be the same here as well, though. But can we necessarily say these are the same or different? Well, they can't clearly all be orange, whatever that is, because we would have 4 oranges. That wouldn't work. But they could be all purple, or they could be a combination of those two. I don't necessarily see how that or how we can differentiate those two at the moment. What about our other 10 lines? Because we had kind of looked at this in the general concept of the rule sets and said, well, we can't have a singular digit, so it's either a 2, 2, or it's all 4 of them. I guess we can't make any determination there, can we? Because this could very easily be 1, 2, 3, 4 to equal 10, with the 1, 2 being here, since we've got a 1, 2 here, and these would be a 3, 4. Or it could be 2 blocks of 10, or 2 cell 10s. What about this guy over here? Okay, well, there's something. This can't be a 4-cell 10 line, because we already have 1, 2, and 3. So to make 4 cells is 1, 2, 3, 4. Clearly, these can't all be low digits. So if we know it's not 4-cell, it must be 2-cell, 2 cells, because obviously it can't be 1 and 3. So we know, excuse me, throat's been a bit messed up these last couple days. We know that this is a 2-cell 10. This is a 2-cell 10. Oh, we actually do know what this is, thinking about that. Because how do you make 10 in 2 cells? It's either 9, 1, 8, 2, or 7, 3. We can't do any of those. The other option is 6, 4. So this is actually a mid, because these are both 4 and 6. So red is technically the mid. Oh, which means it's orange, because it can't be purple now, because we would have 4 purples. Okay, let's change our coloring. This is orange. These are one of... Okay, so this has to be purple. And this has to be green. The reason being is we've used all 3 of our oranges and all 3 of our greens. So the only thing left over here is purple. Therefore, purple is high, and orange is mid, and green is low. Okay, so we have those determined then. So let's put all these in that we know. Oh, well, here we go. If purple is high, this is an 8. Therefore, this is 4. Therefore, this is 3 and 6. And this can't be 4. This can't be 4. So there can't be a 6 on here either. So that's a low digit. It's a 1, 2. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 here. This can't be a 3, because this is a 1 and a 2. This has to be with a 1 or 2 as well. So this is 3. These are not 3s. Okay. Now, what else did that do? Well, let's color. This is orange. This is green. So our greens are done in this column. Therefore, this can't be green. These can't be green. So these two are green. The color of the markings are a little bit hard to see with these lines, but that's not a huge deal. It actually looks better on my other screen than does this one, but that's okay. We'll work through it. So therefore this is 3, because it can't be 1 or 2 now. Therefore this is 6. 6 is mid. And this, okay. These two lines cannot have the same coloration in this, so these are not all purple. So one of these is orange, one of these is purple. Because if these were all purple, we'd be forced to put 2 mids here, or oranges, because purple's already taken. And we wouldn't be able to put a low here. So therefore that would force this out. Essentially, although this does mean this can't be low, so these are low. Because we've got all of our lows given, so this can't be low, and we know this isn't low. So therefore these are. Does that give us anything of further use? I don't necessarily see it, but let's put these in. Doesn't hurt to put our options in so we can see. Oh, this can't be 3 either. Okay, so we do have a 1-2 pair here, so this is 3. So this isn't. Okay, that's something. Now, we said these are high. This can't be an 8, so this is 7 or 9. This is not 2. So we're going to need another low somewhere across this row. One of these two or here. Don't know that we can get to that just yet. Let's see, can we figure out the color differentiation between these two? Because we know they are different. Let's think about it. Look at the other side. Okay, here we go. We've got 3 oranges looking at this. These can't be oranges, they have to be the purples. So these are the oranges. Now, if these are oranges, these have to be purple, because we know they're different colors, and we can also say that these are 3 of the oranges. So now we're set in terms of what's what. These must be the oranges. This must be a 5. And this is purple high too, and this is going to be purple. So we've got a lot of coloring now taking place. So we need to be able to put 1 more green and 1 more orange. This can't be orange, so this is green and this is green. Okay, I just had to look at this row. Therefore, these are both orange. Now we have all of our oranges and our greens, so this is purple. This therefore has to be green. Purples are all done here. Can we use that? Don't know that we can. Okay, we can look at the combination of this row and column. We need to have 1 more low color. It can't go here because we have all 3 of them. It can't go here because if it did, it would have to be a 3 because we have the 1, 2, but we have the 3 already. So this is our low. Now, the remaining two have to be high. Now, if this is high, we cannot do a 4 spot, because these would all have to be low. So therefore, this is a high, and these are two different 10s. So this is a high, so this has to be low. Now we can't, or can we? Yeah, no, we can't. Sorry, because we could. Yeah, it is possible that this could be a high-low, or it could be two mids. No, it can't be two mids, because we can't put another mid here. So this is also a high-low. Which one is which? I don't know that we can determine that. At least not yet. What else do we have? And do we really need to just start putting in digits? Or do we want to try to finalize our coloring? If this is low, it's a 3. If it's high, we're talking 7, 8, 9, but it can't be 7 because I'd force this to be 3. Let's see if, let's put stuff in and start determining values of digits here. Hopefully we can see all this. This has to be a 1 or a 2. Okay, so we said this has to be a high-low because we can't put two mids. If we did a mid, we'd break this. And we have 1, 2 pair here. So this is a 3, 7, which means this is 3, this is 7. So we can get rid of our flashes. And we can get rid of some of this excess. This 6 actually here, I didn't see that because it was covered a little bit. This is 4, 6, which means this is 5. Which means one of these two is 5. Again, putting in all the digits is probably a good way to go about this. These are from 4, 5, 6. This can't be 5 or 6, so it's 4. This can't be 5. This has to be 5. Yeah, that's gonna help us a bit here. This can't be 5. This can't be either. This has to be 5. So these are a 4, 6 pair. This has to be from 1 or 2. Just looking up and down here. This 5 actually tells us this is 9. So these are not 9s. So this is a 5, 7 pair. Let's mark that as high. And the 5, 7 pair is going to look up here. So this has to be the 5. This is a 4 or 6. This cannot be a 7. This can't be 5. So we got to put a 5 in here somewhere. It's going to be one of these two. Really trying to differentiate the colors here a little bit. This 4 gives us a 6 and a 4, and a 6 and a 4. That's good. What are we missing in terms of 4s and 6s? Okay, so this has to be a 4, and it's a mid. Not that, this one. What else can we say? Don't think I see anything else with the 4s at the moment. This is a 1 or a 2. Let's put that in, which means this is 3, which means this is not. 1, 2 going that way. Let's go back to our 6s again real quick. Don't know that we know those. This can't be 7. So what are these two digits? One of them's 1 or 2. The other one's an 8. The 7, 8, 9. Can we do anything with that? Yes, we can, because we have a 1, 2 pair. So this has to be 7. This has to be 3. That's a green. Are we pretty good with our 3s now? Yep, this is 3. I'll continue the coloring process. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So this is 3, which means this is 7. Get rid of these. That 7 gives us our 5 and our 7. So we can finish these. We've got to put a 6. We knew one of these was a 6 anyway, I think, but that's okay. So we've got a 6, 9 pair because the 8 here. So this is 8. So these are 6 and 9. This can't be 5, so this is... Did that finish our 5s or get us to the edge of them? No, because we have an X-wing left over here. Okay. What is this digit? It's either 1 or 2, so it's low. This digit is a given. It is 9 and high. This is a 1 or 2. Okay. The coloring might be slightly disadvantageous. Is that the right way to say it? At this point, but I'm going to stick with it. Okay, so the 1 and 2 does work here. This is 8. This means this is low and this is high. Get rid of this. We've got a 1, 2 pair here. This can't be 7 or 8, so it's 9. This is 8, 9. Here we go. These are not 9s. This has to be 9. This is 8. This is 7. This is 8. This is 7. This is 9. This is not 7 or 8. This then is 7. This is 8. Yeah, this coloring is making it hard for me to see, but I'm going to stick with it. Just because I want to be that way. Okay, let's go back and look at our Sudoku, see what's left over, because I think that's where we are. So our 3s are done. 1s and 2s still have a lot of work to do. 4s and 6s. So this is a 4, 6, which forces this to be a 7. We have to put an 8 in here, so it goes here, and it's purple. This is 4 or 6. We've got a 4. There we go. That's going to break those up. 4, 6, 4. And these 2 digits. We need a 5 and a 9. This is left as 4. Yeah, 4. Okay. And we've got these 2 digits left over. They are 6s and 7s. This is 6, this is 7, 9, and 6. I'm going to go through most of these and then finish the coloring in a second. So we've got 1, 2, and 5. That does almost nothing right there. What about these guys? 1, 2, and 8. Okay, this can't be the 8, so this is. The 9 gives us the 5 and the 9. And that's going to say this can't be 5. So this is. All right, now let's go do a bunch of coloring here, bunch of coloring here, and finish the coloring. And now we just have to finish our groupings of 1s and 2s. And we can do it with this 8 right here. So we can just go through and say all of these are what they are. And this one looks like it is going to be settled, which is awesome. 2 here. 2, and then down here, Oh, the 9 here gives us the last 1, 2, and 2, and 1. Hey, again, I love when, and this is pretty interesting actually. First off, exactly 30 minutes. How often does that happen? Secondly, wow, a super duper great job, you solved the puzzle. I do really enjoy when setters put in these customized congratulation things. It just makes it more fun. Anywho, that was a lot of fun. It really did take me a minute to start getting into it, and I would say a slight criticism is that the color of the lines can be a little bit hard to see through, but that could very well just be my eye, because again, differentiating between colors is not one of the easiest things for me to do. I'm sure it's not easy for people who have color blindness. I do not have that, but anywho, I thought it was an excellent puzzle, a first puzzle as well. Incredible. Gotta really enjoy that. And like I said before, ebiggie, keep it up, man. This is good stuff. So with that, I hope you all enjoyed this one. I certainly did, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.